and I'm your sewing teacher, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about making money doing something that you love. How would you feel about starting a sewing business? Well, this is the place to start. As many of us in the sewing world say, you never know what you don't know till you don't know that you know it. I know that's pretty confusing, but we actually have so many things that we need to know before we begin a sewing business. When it comes right down to it though, there are some very important things that you need to know before you get started and while you actually have this business. If this is the kind of content that you like, please give this a thumbs up and please don't forget to comment below. If you're a new viewer, I always love to know where you're watching from. That subscribe button for those of you who are new is right below, and you can press that bell and it will notify you on Sundays when I put a new video on. So let's get started. When you want to start a sewing business from home, there are a few steps you have to take before you get started. So the very first thing that you should think about is your business name. So this is when you want to begin a brand. You want to have a logo. You want to have an idea behind what it is you want to make. You're going to be a niche sewer. Do you have something that you make that is special that other people don't have? So if so, make that a part of your brand. At this point, you want to take the name that you have and you want to make it yours. You're going to contact your state, provincial, or federal licensing boards, and you're going to get yourself a master business license. That's what it's called here in Ontario, and it doesn't take much. It's an online application. You just need to know the name that you want to work as, pay your fee, and then they will send you the license. And then that name is now yours. Your company is now working as that. Now, because you are sole proprietorship, meaning that you are working for yourself and that you have no employees, you don't need lawyers, you don't need to incorporate. There are many things that you really don't need to worry too much about. If you're going to be making under a certain amount of money, you don't have to worry about filing for GST, HST, for those of you who are in Ontario. If you're not in Ontario and you're somewhere else in the world, please don't forget to check your tax laws when it comes to small businesses. You want to also make sure that you start tracking all of your purchases. So you can have an Excel worksheet, you can have a ledger, however it is that you want to record, make sure that you are recording everything that you purchase and that you are keeping all of your receipts, because you'll be able to claim those when it comes to tax time. You're also going to need a record keeping system for purchases. So I have a database of customers who are repeat customers, and I track all of my sales by month. When it comes to things like craft shows, tracking sales is a little bit different. Some people will use their website during a craft sale and they will put all the purchases through their website. Some people will just make purchases via cash and they will record an overall sale at the end, and then that would be what they claimed on their taxes. Now don't forget, you do still have to claim taxes, so it's important that you are recording everything that you make. Now if you're working from your home, you could probably write part of your home off. The next thing you need to know kind of before you get started is whether or not you need insurance. You do. Not only do you need insurance for fire and theft of your machines, but you also need insurance for liability. What I did is I went to my insurance company and I told them that I was starting a home-based business, and I asked them if I could add a rider onto my home insurance for my business. So they went to their underwriters, they spoke to their underwriters, and they told me that yes, indeed, we could have an additional policy, which by the way is much cheaper if you can add it to your home insurance, and they just had a few stipulations.
In order to keep the insurance cheap, I had to follow the stipulations.
Now, if you want to sell to the United States or internationally, or you want to make baby products, then you're going to have to search for an insurance broker who will then help you find an insurance company to insure your home business. The next thing that we need to cover is compliance. Now, this was something that I learned over time. I did not know this at the very, very beginning when I was just starting craft shows. I hadn't started my business really, But what I didn't know was that you have to label everything. There are different laws in every province, state, and country. So it is important for you to type in your location and the word compliance and clothing manufacturing, purse manufacturing, bag manufacturing, whatever it is that you are making, and Google that. And it should take you to a government site that will have compliance listings there. There are also Facebook compliance groups for sewists, and that's also a fantastic resource. I think I learned more there than I did on the government sites. One of the things that is covered on the compliance sites and in the groups is labeling. Labeling is extremely important in handmade items. This is when we start to talk about actually buying labels that look like this.
This is a great example of a label that you would need. However, if you don't want to put the money out right away, you can do as I did.
So I bought the fill in the blank kind, and I want to talk about is selling. There are many different ways that you can sell your product. You can do word of mouth in your own town, in your own city. You can go to handmade stores or consignment stores and show them what you make and ask them if they're willing to carry your product. If it's a handmade store, often they will have you rent a portion of the store and then they take a percentage of your profits. If it's a consignment store, they often will just do a consignment percentage. And sometimes you'll find stores want to buy wholesale from you. Now beware of selling wholesale, because you don't want to lose money because they want it cheap enough to make money. So it's very important that you do not undersell yourself at this point. Now there are other ways to do this. There are handmade sites like Etsy. There are lots of different ones out there. So do some research. Another thing that you can do is you can open your own website. Another place to sell is Facebook groups and Facebook pages. So I would suggest that you start a Facebook page for yourself, an Instagram page for yourself, and any other social media that you are on. So if you're on Twitter, if you're on TikTok, whatever it is you're on, start an account just for your business. On Facebook, you have lots of friends already, I'm sure, if you're somebody who uses Facebook. So by introducing your new business to all of your friends and inviting them to like it and asking them to share to their friends and so on and so forth, can help push your awareness to other people. Let them see the products that you're making. And that's actually very helpful. So another place on Facebook that you can sell is your local marketplace. So every town and city has a Facebook buy and sell for our area. And so the Facebook marketplace is a great place to put your things. And lastly, the last place that I sell is at craft shows. Now, with COVID, craft shows were kind of gone, but they're back now. So I just had one when was that? I just had one in September. If you wanted to see the video where I talked about my craft show setup and my best sellers, I can put that in the cards for you right now. So up it goes, whichever direction that is. I don't know. Anyway, there's the card. So you can link to that one and check out the craft show setup. And of course, we can always sell to our family and friends. And I really hope that this video has helped you so that you can share your handmade custom things with other people. I hope that this empowers you to start that business. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching today, folks. If this is your content that you like, give that a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, down below is where you subscribe. Click that bell. It'll remind you when I put my videos up on Sundays. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. We'll see you next week.